Christine. I'm 10th grade of TCA and I'm school president. The reason why I'm here because I want to help you guys about the college steps. I joined this school because I want to expand my life and I want to get a lot of opportunity to improve my life. So I want to be helpful.
Hello everyone, welcome
Hello.
back. Welcome back again. This time we're joined by Christine, one of our students. And today we'll talk about some college things that students had some questions and you had some questions, collected some questions for us. And we'll try our best to be helpful to you because I'm sure that many of you probably have the same questions.
Yes.
So, are we ready to begin?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, she's ready.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with your first question.
Okay, so many students have general understanding about GPA, but
Yeah.
how does it work and why is such an important thing? So can you explain it?
All right, so your GPA, you might have heard this before. Well, it is a point. It's basically a grading scale. If you're doing honors, it's around 5 points, but generally it's around 4 points or 4 point something, 4.3. But what it is a way to grade students universally. So, for example, if you have a class, that class has a certain amount of credits, and then later on that is added in the semester, and it's averaged out by how many classes you've taken, how many hours you've taken, and an A, for example, let's say on a simple grading scale, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 being the highest. If you get an A, that would be a 4. If you get a B, that would be a 3, and so on and so forth. And so all of that is collected at the end of the semester and divided, and you get a point. So 3 point something, usually 3.5 is a respectable GPA, a very strong GPA. So that score is very important for universities because they are trying to see how you performed. So every school around the world has this GPA, and it is one of the most important factors, scores, that universities will look at when they're selecting you. And sometimes universities won't even consider your application if you don't make a certain GPA. So it's not the only thing that's important, but it's a very, very important score.
Because that is the fundamental. The fundamental, actually, the standard.
Yes.
Is to what is the to judge the students. Is to criticize the students.
And also, I think we should say that for sophomores, freshmen and sophomore, your GPA is so easy to actually improve at that point. So even grade 10, grade 11, try your best at that point to put in all your effort and don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy.
So it's a scale, it's a grading scale that all schools look at to see if you're doing well or not. Yeah. Okay. What's your next question?
What are AP classes?
Okay. AP classes, there's a lot to be said about AP classes, but it means the Advanced Placement Test.
That's right.
And what they are college level courses that students can take while they're in high school. And it can really show your dedication, your passion, your higher academic ability. And sometimes you can get extra credit for AP, and depending on your course that you take in university, you might have less to do or can save some time, save some money. But generally these days when people take AP classes, it's really as a way to select students. It's more for admissions these days than it is to show students abilities. And it's a good test to take, but I would say don't take an AP class for the sake of padding. If it's useful to you, if it's an area that you really want to study later on, do it. If you're a STEM student, but you're taking AP English Literature, usually college admissions officers, they look at that and they think, well, you're padding, especially with Asian international students, because everyone's taking AP like wildfire. But I think you must be more selective. But basically what it is, it's college level courses that high school students can take that can really show more
Eagerness.
Yes, and more rigorous classwork
And showing our passion.
Right. And it shows that you're not kidding around. You're really trying to study. Yeah.
You guys just show your your passion is to the major or the field, what you're interested in. That's the why, and that's the reason.
Yeah. And usually the tests are it's once a year. Usually in May.
Yeah, in May.
Yes. And
But actually, COVID-19 under the COVID-19 it's 2020.
yeah.
AP is not a real AP. It was not.
No.
So that is actually consists of two part, MCQ and multiple choice, and FRQ is a free responses. However, the college board, they just manage the students to take it as FRQ only. It's for 45 minutes. But I think that test is not the real 100% AP test at all.
No, because what they've done in these times, COVID-19 times, since last year, they reduced a 3-hour test, sometimes 4 hours, depending on the test. They've reduced that to 45 minutes. 45 minutes.
Only FRQ.
And so usually there's the MCQ side, the short questions, multiple choice questions, and then you have your free response or written part. They've only made it FRQ, but it doesn't make sense for certain courses. Computer science, how do you reduce that to 45 minutes? English literature, 45 minutes. So last year's test, and probably this year as well, I'm not sure, but it's not reflective of the real AP test the way it used to be.
I think that this year it's not really...
Not proper.
No. Not easy to take it as AP, even the SAT test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Let's move on. Okay.
And my next question is, what is SAT? And what is the best way to prepare for the SAT?
Okay, so
SAT is a standard test. It's for the getting to the US college. So it's like it's in Korea. Okay, in Korean it's a 수능. Yeah, 수능고사. Okay. So and also it's SAT, SAT 1 and SAT 2 actually. So but I think it's this year in January. It's a college board is announced
they canceled the
they
subject
canceled
test.
the SAT subject, the second test.
Yeah.
And also, SAT 1 is optional, the essay, writing essay things. So only SAT 1, the reasoning test consists of 2 parts. The English, the critical English, and the writing, so reading and writing part. And also another is the mathematics. So 2 parts is the combined together is a total score is 1,600. So the each of part is 800. So that is actually criteria or a standard is to see the students how smart they are. I think it's the Korean SAT and then USA SAT. Do you know why it's very different? Because SAT, not Korean SAT, because what I heard from the Korean SAT is not really deeply related. It's their the high school, the curriculum is not deeply related. However, SAT, that is very related to high school curriculum. So you just study well and study very hard. Okay, from the freshman to senior or the freshman to the junior. I think you might can get a really adjust or like the proper score from the SAT, but I'm not sure it's a high score because that depends on. So that's why it's every summer, the TCA our school. So yeah, the managed is the special SAT class because they have the strategy is also needed and also some of the skill needed. So that's why 7 weeks or from time to time is 8 weeks. So we just let them the practice to make how to take it as SAT properly.
To get used to it.
Yeah. So in the summer, usually in the summer times, we have an SAT camp, and we usually split it with a few weeks of lectures and how to work on the reading section, how to work on the writing section, and you'll have some math classes as well to brush up on your math. And the last few weeks, usually 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we just do tests.
Yeah.
So in total, usually 7 or 8 weeks. Yes. And I think your work throughout the semester, critical reading, your math, all of that will help your SAT later on. Yeah. But so there are two kinds of SAT. There's the usual SAT test, and then SAT 2, or the subject test. The subject tests have been cancelled this year. So no SAT math.
No.
So just the standard test, which is reading section, writing and language section, and the 2 math sections. Yeah. I recommend that international students take the SAT, take the TOEFL, all these kinds of standardized tests, because if you're coming from a school from Korea, international school like ours, or China, India, the American schools or Australian schools or English schools, wherever in the West, they can't see that you have the same standard or you've learned the same things as in their country. So to take an SAT test, you can really get a more objective view of what they know and how strong of a student they are. Good. So that's why you should take it. Yeah. Good. All right, let's move on.
And I want to ask about the college stuff.
Okay.
As I'm starting my college research, I've seen 2 categories, which is liberal arts college and university.
Good.
What's differences and what's differences?
Okay, so liberal arts college in Korean, 학부 중심의 연구 대학교. Okay, this is only 이것도 역시 4년제 대학. And a university, but actually
Also 4 years.
yeah, that's 4 years. But it's actually the Harvard is not a Harvard University. They said Harvard College. So anyhow, it's not as the community college is different. Okay.
Community college should be 2 years, and it's it's not. The courses are less not valuable, but it's not as strong, the coursework.
And a university, 일반 4년제 대학은 미국에서 봤을 때 우리가 종합대학, 그러니까 종합대학의 의미는 어떤 전공에 대한 종합대학에 대한 어떤 이 넓고 좁음의 그것도 있겠지만 가장 뭐냐면 아까 학부 중심이라고 리버럴 아츠는 얘기했죠. 연구 중심. 자, 그러면 학부는 딱 4년이란 말이지. 그럼 그 이후에 만약에 내가 석사 과정을 밟고 싶다. 또는 박사 과정을 밟고 싶을 때는 어떻게 해야 돼? 다른 학교로 트랜스퍼를 해야 되겠지. 아니 다른 학교에 어플라이를 따로 하든가. 마찬가지예요. 유니버시티는 보통 석박사 과정까지 같이 있는 데가 유니버시티. 그 다음에 리버럴 아츠 컬리지는 학부 중심. only 4년제. 학생들. 컬리지 스튜던트만 있는 데예요. 자, 그렇다면 what are the differences? Okay. That is more important. 그래서 우리 그 더컬리짓 아카데미 학생들은 우리가 보통 선생님들이 많이 제안하는 학교는 지금 리버럴 아츠 컬리지. 이유는 자, 리버럴 아츠 컬리지는 종합대학에 비해서 사이즈가 클까 작을까?
Small.
Yes, so for example, liberal arts colleges, your classes might be somewhere around 10 to 20 students.
Yeah.
But
so ratio is very good.
Right.
Yeah.
But universities, your classes are huge. So these are classes about 300 students. And the style of teaching is totally different. So in university,
because professors are different.
Right.
Liberal arts college is usually real professor.
Yeah.
They teach them.
Yeah.
However, the university, well, maybe someone is like someone who take it as a master course or
yeah,
like as a
it might be
PhD course.
students who are doing their graduate studies.
Yes.
So university, the classes are larger, and also it's very lecture based, and there's very little interaction with professors and
That's
students.
right.
Liberal
But
arts
yeah,
college is different.
more the
yeah.
liberal arts college is more based on the project based.
Yes. Yeah. And so also the kinds of degrees and majors that you have are different. So with university, it's more general, it's more broad courses, but it's undergraduate and also graduate. If you want to do your master's, honors, you can do that at university. Liberal arts colleges, only undergraduate, but the majors are more specific majors that you
Yep.
can choose. So the ranges are different, and how far you can go is different.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
그래서 결론적으로 어떠냐면 리버럴 아츠 컬리지 졸업하는 학생들과 그 일반적으로 이제 그 종합대학을 졸업하는 학생들의 어떤 그 학업적인 퍼포먼스, 성취도라든지 그게 이제 어떻게 나타나냐면 그 석사 과정을 들어갈 때 합격률이 리버럴 아츠 컬리지가 더 높아요. 역시 취업률도 나쁘지 않습니다. 그래서 보통 같은 경우에 국제학생이라면 학비를 거의 같은 금액으로 낸다면 부모님들이 착각하는 것 중에 주립대학비가 내 아이한테 적용된다고 생각을 하시는데 그거는 절대 아니기 때문에 그렇다면 학생 입장에서 국제학생으로서 이왕이면 같은 돈을 준다면 조금 더 케어를 받으면서 더 나은 학업 서비스를 받는 게 좋지 않을까라고 생각을 해서 우리 TCA에서는 학생들하고 부모님들하고 충분히 논의를 한 이후에 리버럴 아츠 컬리지를 많이 적극 권장하는 편이죠. 이해가 되셨으리라 봅니다.
Yeah. And so I think students should think about that. And the best way, if you can visit the campus. But if you can't, really research your school well and see what kind of learning environment you want as well. Yeah, good.
And my next question is, what are some tips to consider when choosing a college and my major?
I think this is a difficult question to answer because it's not something that you're shopping for. It's you have to think, what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to be? What do you really want to study? Choosing a major is really more about knowing yourself, I think, and what you want to study and how useful your major might be to your life later on. So I think you have to spend some time thinking and researching, really knowing what you want to study, what you're passionate about, what job you would like to have later on. That's how you choose your major, it's not a random selection. And I don't like that students are sometimes undecided. I don't accept undecided students. You need to know before you go to university what you want to do.
I think it's undecided. That one is kind of a trap.
It is a trap.
It's not
It
good.
is a trap. Yeah.
It's not good. Okay. 자, 가장 중요한 것 중에 하나는 내가 무엇을 할지 무엇을 원하는지에 대해서 그거를 생각하기 이전에 내가 생각하는 우리 학생들이 꼭 생각해야 될 거, 본인의 아이덴티티에 대해서 생각을 해야 될 것 같아요. 정체성에 대해서. 그리고 정체성을 생각하면서 더 하나 더 나아가서는 제발 솔직하길 바래. 이 얘기는 뭐 내 자신을 다 포함해서, 그러니까 일반적으로 물론 이제 뭐 사람마다 틀리겠지만 우리 이제 한국인들의 약간의 공통점이 있어요. 메이저도 약간 트렌드를 쫓아가는 경향이 있고 또는 누가 나를 어떻게 볼까. 근데 인생을 살다 보면 그게 물론 아주 중요하지 않다고는 얘기를 안 하겠지만 실은 가장 중요한 요소는 아니라는 거지. 내가 원하는 게 무엇인지를 먼저 찾기 전에 나라는 사람에 대해서 생각할 수 있는 시간이 있다면 내 자신한테 먼저 솔직한 게 중요할 것 같아. 내가 뭘 좋아하는지, 그 다음에 뭘 싫어하는지, 그리고 내가 싫어하지만 이게 예를 들어서 내 앞길에 있어서 좀 필요하다면 내가 이걸 어느 정도 프랙티스해서 연마해서 충분히 할 수 있을까? 그거에 대한 어떤 객관화된 데이터가 나오잖아요. 그죠? 그럼 그거를 보고 그리고 나서 할 수 있다면 또 취하는 거지. 사람이 다 자기가 좋아하는 일만 하고 살 수는 없어요. 가장 물론 행복한 건 내가 좋아하는 것과 잘하는 것이 딱 매치됐을 때야. 그러나 만약에 내가 좋아하는 것과 잘하는 것이 완전히 동떨어진 경우라면 보통의 경우는 좋아하는 일을 추구하는 것도 나쁘지 않겠지만 대부분의 사람들은 잘하는 일을 추구하는 경우가 있어요. 그러니까 이거는 실은 이제 본인의 선택인 거지. 다만 메이저나 특히 메이저는 정말 중요하거든요. 미국 대학에서. 근데 이런 경우에 특히 국제학생 입장에서는 OPT라고 하는 나중에 그 본인이 그 숙련 기간을 갖는단 말이에요. 대학을 졸업한 이후에. 그런 경우에 그 사람의 전공과 동떨어진 걸 뽑지 않습니다. 그런 절대 없어요. 그래서 그 메이저가 본인한테 굉장히 중요해요. 대학 선정보다도. 그렇다면 내가 정말 뭘 좋아하는지, 내가 이렇게 얘기하면 되게 팬시해 보이고 뭔가 그럴싸해 보이고, 예를 들어서 샤잔나 선생님 같은 경우에 친구도 본인이 똑똑한 친구라는 거지. 똑똑하고 잘했는데 여자가 예를 들어서 뭐 미케니컬 엔지니어링을 한다든지 또는 컴퓨터 사이언스를 한다든지 sounds great. Yeah?
Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great. However, she just dropped it after a semester, isn't it?
Yeah, semester.
She's so smart. She's super smart. However, she couldn't manage the computer science curriculum at all because she doesn't like it.
Yeah. So I think more importantly, you should know yourself, because if you don't fit in a certain area of study, how can you muster the drive to go to class every single day in a class that you don't enjoy and you don't really want to be there? It makes it so much harder. If you're in a course that maybe you're not so smart, you're struggling with it a little bit, but you're really passionate about it, you really want to be there, you can do it. You can still get through it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So you should really know what you want.
I think I should find what is my interest and what can I do for
Yes.
my whole
And I want to
life.
add one more thing to that. For students, I know it's annoying sometimes with parents and teachers saying, you should know what you want, you should figure out what you want. This is the time to do it. As a student, as a teenager, this is the time for you to think about what you want to do with your life, what you want to study, how do you want to live later on. And so, do it. Figure it out. Yeah. Because when you're in your 20s or when you get to university, it is too late. It is too late to try and figure out what you want to do by that point.
Yeah, maybe it's a lot of struggle. A lot of struggle.
Yeah. Good. I hope that kind of... Yeah. No pressure.
No, no pressure.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Let's move on.
How do I actually know what type of college is best fit for me?
I think this...
This route, college research.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah. If you can visit the school, that's great, but most international students can't.
Yeah.
So I think go on their website, and most universities and colleges have social media these days. Look at their students, look at their student accounts, look at their clubs, look at their classes. Try and see, and many students do a day in the life of vlogs on YouTube. See what the classes are like.
There is a really good, what is the website? See, okay, for example, Unigo.
Yes, Unigo.
Unigo.
Yeah.
Unigo is, that is a website, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So it's all students who attend that school, students is, their feedbacks is believed.
Yeah. About their classes, about their dorms, about their
Yeah.
food, about their professors.
Good point, bad point, everything.
It's very honest.
So even the facility, facility, and then what is that? The school, something is a curriculum things.
Right.
And then so the students' school life,
Right.
it's everything. So I think it's a Unigo. That is a really good site.
Yeah.
It's for a, what is that? It's the criticize or like a,
The good points and the bad points of school.
I think most international school will be helpful with that site.
Yes, yes. And most schools have a Twitter and social media, and students constantly upload vlogs at their school, so look at them. Yeah. Good. Yeah, you have to take some time to research it. Good.
yeah, I think it's from the junior. Yeah, you should figure it out.
Good.
So which college and which type of schools is really good for me. Yeah.
All right. Next question.
And my next question is, the cost of studying in the US will be really expensive for international international students. So
It is.
how much does it cost to study in the USA, and how to get a scholarship in the USA?
Okay, the college is the two types of school, the private school and public school. So it's like the UC Berkeley and UCLA, the eight
University of
campuses. That is that is the state, and also Texas Austin, that is also the state. And then what else is that? So many of each state they have the state university. That is a public school, but the private, 8 Ivy Leagues private school. All of the many top tier schools, actually private school. Okay, what is the differences public school and private school? Tuition fee. But it's for international students. Okay, exactly. The state university. Someone who paid for their tax, they give them some advantages. So we don't have any connection at all.
Unless you have citizenship.
Yeah. So you should pay for it's like out of state tuition fee. So I think it's more than more than triple. Yeah,
And domestic students.
Yeah, and then private school, expensive. So it's average. I think it's only the tuition fee is per year annually. The $50,000 $50,000 is the tuition fee, and then dorm, and then so your insurance covering your insurance and the food. Yeah, the approximately is a 20,000.
Right. Yes.
So it's a totally a year $70,000. So
of course it varies by school, but that's generally.
yeah, generally. But it's okay. Your second question is the scholarships, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, there are different. So we have different kinds of scholarships, but I think when we talk about scholarships, you must understand that America has merit-based scholarships. So based on your academic performance, if you're really outstanding, and for international students, if you want to be considered for merit-based scholarships, you need to take the SAT. You need to have good grades.
In Korean, the 성적 장학금.
And with your application or with your admission, you'll get some information regarding your scholarship, how much you get as well. There are other scholarships, special scholarships that you can get for certain races or for certain programs. But in general, most international students think of the merit-based scholarships that come along with the admissions. Yeah.
But that is a scholarship. But it's actually the previous is graduate, the seniors.
Yeah.
They apply the financial aid.
Yeah. Financial.
재정 보조. The private school we can apply the financial aid FA.
Yes.
So yeah, students applicants might be very qualified, and also they're financially not fully enough to support them is a tuition or including the dormitory. Yeah, school to consider this students is can get the certain amount of the
They call it
tuition
need-based.
fee or not.
Need-based.
Yeah, that is a need based. So I think, but the amount scholarship is not really fully enough to cover up the tuition fee. That's why we suggest them to apply the FA financial aid.
Yeah, and that's part of what we do with our students as well. When you're applying to college, we help you with the financial aid side to apply for financial
So
aid.
over, I think it's Harry and Jackson.
Yes.
They got around this almost the full. It's
Yeah,
98. Yeah, 98 or 99%
Yeah.
of the tuition fee.
Yeah, we took care of them very carefully to how to apply for things, and this is why you need help with your application, because I think most schools will not help you with financial aid and how to do it. That's between you and your family. So we're helping students with financial aid, trying to help them with the application, and so far we've been quite successful with Harry and Henry
Because
and Jackson.
both of them got over the 40,000 per year.
Yeah, compared to their tuition and their dorm fees, it's basically a full scholarship. Yeah.
What GPA and SAT do we need to get a scholarship?
Okay, this actually varies by school, so it's not really easy to say. You have to check what your school requires, what the minimum SAT and GPA is. But I would say at least to be considered for scholarships, around a 3.5 GPA is pretty good. SAT, that really varies on what you're studying and what the school requires, because top tier schools will have a much higher standard of SAT requirement than any other school. Yeah.
It's not simple.
It's not simple, yeah.
So maybe you can check the website. It's a college data or like a US News something. So they have such a the raw information about the school, each of school, their SAT average score or like the GPA average score. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, good.
Many international students wonder how can I get a job in the USA?
You mean while you're studying?
Yes, while I'm studying in the US.
That is also tricky because there are rules for your visa. When you're an international student and you have a student visa, generally you should not be working outside of your school time. On campus, there are certain jobs you can get on campus at your university.
They can operate.
Yeah, so maybe working at the gym, working at the bookstore, the library, and you get some pay for that. But outside of that, I think there are restrictions on student visas, so you have to check that beforehand as well. Yeah.
But it depends on your major. The school is the provider or the suggest you can get an internship program or like the co-op program.
Yes.
That is actually one of the job, okay, for what is the short period. It's for 6 months or the 3 months. So, but it should be related to your major.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
But the short answer is yes, you can, but there are restrictions to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Good. Next question.
And my last question is, how many credits do we need to graduate for college?
120 credits is what you need to
For
have
4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years, and you get your basic degree.
So very intensive, and also, yeah, the course is quite hard.
Right. So 120 credits.
120.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
100.
Any other question? That was your last?
Yeah, that's my last question.
Okay. Anything you want to add, Miss Kathy?
Okay, I just one thing. Okay, in Korean.
Okay.
Okay. 한국 대학은 입학제예요. 입학제라는 건 뭐냐면 입학하고 나면 거의 졸업을 하죠.
네.
근데 미국 대학은 졸업제입니다. 그래서 예를 들어서 우리나라는 학번을 얘기할 때 들어간 연도를 얘기하고 그 나라는 학번을 얘기할 때 졸업한 연도를 얘기해요. 자, 그 얘기는 뭐냐면 졸업하기가 많이 어렵습니다. 그러니까 평균 미국 같은 경우에는 점점 낮아지고 있는데 불과 몇 년 전까지만 해도 30%였어요. 30, 40%? 40%도 많은 거고. 근데 물론 아이비리그 같은 데는 더 높죠. 다만 일반적으로 평균적으로 그렇다는 얘기고 지금 그게 좀 줄고 있어요. 한 20%대로. 그러니까 100명이 들어가면 한 25명이 졸업을 하는 거고 어려워요. 그래서 결국은 대학을 입학하는 게 문제가 아니라 뭐다?
그래서 열심히 하는 게 중요합니다.
우리 학교에서도 마찬가지인 게 대학은 들어갈 수 있어요. 다만 들어간 이후에 어떻게 학교 생활을 하고 이 학생이 어떤 퍼포먼스를 내고 얼마나 더 훌륭한 우리 TCA 졸업생이 되는지에 대해서 포커스를 많이 한다는 점. 그렇습니다.
Yeah. And for myself, I'll just add one more thing. Because our whole discussion has really been about grades and numbers, SAT, GPA. I think what we should remember is the testing system and the application system is different for Korean universities, Indian universities, Chinese universities. When we start talking about Western schools, like America, especially America,
Yeah.
they don't only look at your grades, they want to see personal factors. Your GPA must be there. That's a given. Your SAT, most students should take it. The same with TOEFL. And if you want to, AP as well. But most universities in America, especially top tier universities, look at you holistically. They want to see human beings. They want to see personal factors.
Yes.
Your essay. For Asian students or international students that are not used to an American curriculum, we're not used to focusing on extracurricular or work outside of the classroom. American schools really do look at that deeply, because how do they select from applicants each year? Hundreds of thousands international students applying, when we all have the same numbers, generally the same GPAs, the same SATs. They need to start looking at personal factors like the essay, like your extracurricular, volunteering. All of these things come into play, and so there's not only one thing. Don't focus too much only on your GPA and only on your SAT. There are other important things as well. So international students really need to pay attention to how can they stand out from other students from the pool and really show some focus in a direction, in a certain life goal, major. They want to see that you have good character. They look at your character, they look at your values, your passions. All of that shines through the activity section in your Common App. your essay, all of these things. So don't only focus on numbers and how do I look good for the university. Develop yourself. Develop yourself as a human being, as a character, as a student. And then it will shine through and they will want to grab you as a student.
That's why essay is the most important.
Yeah.
Because in essay,
Yeah.
you should map down. You should map down on your character and then what you have done before. So and then we can see
Yeah.
even.
So I think maybe for the next video we could talk about the essay and activities and things that students could do besides academics that will help them in
And
college.
also, that is as we call this extracurriculars.
Extracurricular.
Extra
So
activities.
be sure to check us out again for the next video about that. And
Okay.
thank you very much. I hope this has
Thank
been.
you, Christine.
Was this helpful to you?
It was very helpful.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So thank you very much for joining us. Bye.
Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.